This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
We begin at 5 with breaking news out of Lincoln County, where police tell us a 16-year-old boy was shot and killed inside a home near Troy, Missouri. Authorities say they responded to calls for a person shot inside a home on Dodson Road in rural Lincoln County. They're calling the shooting a domestic disturbance. We have a crew heading there now, and we'll have more information on air and online as we learn more. Good evening and happy New Year's Eve. I'm Mark Maxwell. Mike Bush has the night off. New Year's celebrations are underway in many parts of the world right now. And here in the U.S., security is a concern at some major events like the Crystal Ball Drop in Times Square. Gloria Pazmino is in New York City with those details.
Around the globe, people are closing out 2023 and ringing in the new year. Countries like New Zealand, Australia, Japan, and South Korea held their midnight countdowns more than 12 hours ahead of most of the United States. New York's Times Square is always one of the biggest New Year's Eve events on the planet. And this year, there are heightened security concerns because of the October 7th terrorist attack in Israel and the ongoing war in Gaza.
There's no specific credible threats to the actual New Year's Eve celebrations right now that we're tracking, but we're certainly trying to discover and identify things before they happen.
A joint task force is monitoring for potential threats from a large command center, and there is an enhanced security perimeter around Times Square. Authorities are also looking out for unruly demonstrations. Pro-Palestinian protesters interrupted the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and tried to disrupt the lighting of the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree last month.
We're not going to allow unlawful behavior into a lawful assembly and celebration we're having on New Year's Eve, just like we did for the tree lighting. The same posture. We'll be a little bigger, we have more cops, and we'll be ready.
A massive effort to keep New Year's festivities safe. In New York, I'm Gloria Pazmino reporting.
As we get ready for New Year's celebrations, area police want everyone to be cautious as you celebrate. They're warning people do not fire your gun. Every year, police report hundreds of calls for celebratory gunfire, which is outlawed. The Ferguson Police Department says this type of gunfire could impact them and their safety and how they do their job.
One of our patrol cars was struck by a stray round. It came down and hit the hood right above our windshield. Even us responding to these calls is dangerous. And people need to be responsible gun owners, and you need to be strong enough to be able to tell your friend, tell your family, don't do that.
And you can plan now to stay safe if you're out on the roads tonight, especially if you plan to drink. You can call a ride share home. There's a limited number of free $20 vouchers. You can enter that promo code you see on your screen to claim one. Right now, some local leaders and community members are attending a ceremony honoring victims of gun violence. Mothers advocating for safe streets are hosting a candlelight service at the Williams Temple Church. Mayor Jones, Police Chief Tracy, and Circuit Attorney Gabe Gore are all in attendance there with other leaders from around the area. That service ends with a candle lighting for every victim of homicide in 2023. All right, let's head over now to Weather First meteorologist Gary Frank, who has a look at one of our final forecasts in this 2023. Hey, Gary.
Hey, good evening. It's a little cooler today, a nice, easy day to sit inside, but there are people that are going outside and celebrating, not staying up till midnight, one of the two. So whether or not you're staying inside or going outside, it's a cold day, but it's quiet. Weather-wise, not impacting us too much. We do see the influence of that, at least a few flurries. I've had a few sprinkles driving around this morning, but overall, most of that stayed in central Illinois. But as we start to transition from that system, exiting behind that colder air, you know, it's been a little breezy today. Temperatures holding steady in the mid to upper 30s for the most part, 37, a west-northwest breeze, making it feel like it's in the upper 20s. And as temps continue to fall into the overnight hours, this wind will be with us. It's out of the west-northwest, and it's colder. Our wind chills are in the mid-20s. Expect this to continue for all your outdoor celebrations. What I want you to know ahead this evening, as temps fall into the mid-30s, it's going to feel like it's in the 20s, but welcome to 2024. We've got overall a cool and dry week. We've got a more active pattern setting up, I think, toward the end of that, and some actual cold air will set to return in January. We'll talk about when that arrives ahead.
All right, Gary, thanks. And what a year it was, from political shakeups in the circuit attorney's office to an inaugural season of a professional soccer league team. It's been a big year for news in our area. 5 on your side's Tracy Hinson has a review of some of those top stories this year.
Everybody wants to see the city do better.
2023 started off with a new police chief.
A month later, Janae Edmondson was critically injured walking back to her hotel from a volleyball tournament.
The Attorney General, as others, used this unfortunate incident and tragic happening to this young lady as a political stunt.
This is not about politics. This is about the rule of law and justice.
The Circuit Attorney's Office appears to be a rudderless ship of chaos.
But guess what? You can't take me out.
That was the last we'd hear from Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner. She resigned in a written statement.
The Cardinals' miseries continue. They've lost 12 of 14.
They're not happy.
No, they weren't. It was not a good year for Cardinals fans, but there was this.
Oh, say, can you see?
There were a lot of eyes on that, but there were also a lot of eyes on this.
If anybody sees this suspect, call 911. Let us know his location.
Tommy Wayne Boyd was found. He wasn't the only escapee in St. Louis this year.
I will never forget this day that the bear escaped the zoo.
Ben the Andean bear had to move to a different zoo. The zoo also broke the news that beloved Raja the elephant has to move too.
Well, all of the females that are of reproductive age are his daughters. So it's time for him to move on and start a new family.
Raja still has another year or so left in St. Louis. That wasn't the case for this next guy.
One of the things that has been removed from the equation that we can focus on was the head coach.
Sports wasn't all bad.
I think you can see we've garnered respect around the league.
And now we're the Cotton Bowl champs, MIZ. Congratulations.
It was a great way to end the year. Cheers to 2023. Tracy Henson, 5 on your side.
All right, and we will also count down the top 10 political stories of 2023 tonight on The Record. You can join me in a panel as we look back on a year of political shakeups and shifts in power. One of the top stories, though, was the push to put an abortion question on the ballot in Missouri. Missouri Democratic Party Chairman Russ Carnahan predicts the party will eventually coalesce around a ballot question.
I'm very optimistic. I think this is going to get on our ballot.
Can you see a scenario in which the Democratic Party of Missouri backs this 12-week abortion plan, one that Planned Parenthood has called very restrictive?
I don't see that happening. And again, I think there's way better alternatives than that.
You can hear more of that conversation and more on the top 10 political stories of 2023 tonight, right after Sports Plus. A community coming together to support an injured skating coach. The update: we heard from police on the accident that caused her injury.